Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Only a look at
Good morning, good morning. This morning we'll pray from Psalms 36. The transgression of the wicked, say it within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he fluttereth with himself in his own eyes, unto his iniquity be found to be hateful. The word of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercies, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the cloud. The righteousness is Thy righteousness is like a great mountain. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Lord, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadows of thy wing. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the rivers of thy pleasure. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness unto the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hands of wickedness remove me. There are workers of iniquity. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down and shall not be able to rise. To my community of parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this morning. We are back this morning at Cooper's Pen. More so, though, we'll be looking at the People's National Party better late than never intervention. Incident happened Tuesday. You're supposed to underground Wednesday morning. No time for delay, but better late than never, isn't it? So I thought Buchanan, Mark Golden, the spokesman and land, was there. I think is it Waverly was there as well. Professor Floyd Morris, maybe because of logistics and all of that, the minister, the spokesman and housing were not there. I'm waiting to hear if Angela Brownberg has anything to say on this, because she is the spokesperson on welfare and such alike and such a forth, isn't it? Which is a big welfare issue at the moment. Manafarin! Morning, Dr. Chang. Manafarin. Manafarin. But you can't go the big farin, though. When the narco-terrorism meeting did that big farin, Audrey attendo. No, it that little farin, so Chang can get figure meet ag shit. Oris Chang met up with the ag shit. But ag shit said something which I want to go into a bit later, because is there something happening? Is there a partnership that we, the people, were not informed about, as the many things that the Jamaican government is doing with the United Snakes of a government, such as the TCN deal and all that, but the people of Jamaica are not informed. Hmm? There are dealings going on which the people of Jamaica are not informed. So those and others will be tackling this morning. I'll probably just give what's him call it, the Brahman cow, Tova Hamilton, a good going over this morning. Because when an idiot presents itself to you as an idiot, that's exactly how you must perceive them, as how they presented themselves to you. And Tova Hamilton presented herself to us as a stupid idiot. Thereby, we have to react to her as the stupid idiot she presented herself to be. All right? So morning, everyone, and welcome. Onodo. Lynette Jenkins, good morning. Miranda Roddock, good morning and welcome. Colin Zanet, good morning. Suzette Williams, Rose, good morning. Marcy Biro from the Cockpit Country, Beverly, Violet Watson, Melford, Althea, Opal, Peter, Sheena Kelly, is it Lorna, morning. Gloria Morris, morning. Vera Thomas, morning, everybody. Welcome. Like and share the live for us, please. Cold, heartless, and brutal. The Jamaica government remains silent. The Jamaica government remains silent. All they are doing, holding up their hands and say, I haven't got any share and part in this. But that's actually not true, because the Jamaica Consolidated Force is an arm of the government, and nobody is responding, neither Horace Chan, Kevin Blake, Andrew Holness, or even the commander for Area 1 is responding to any questions or is coming out and clarifying who ordered them into battle against the people of Jamaica, who ordered them to commit crimes against the people of Cooper's Pen. Because what happened in Cooper's Pen was crime by the JCF, by the demolishers, and by the government, McCabe, who supported this. Or is it that the powers that be are embarrassed of the lawlessness and the hoodlumness of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, that anybody could just pay and order the entire Area 1 into battle against the people of Jamaica? Is there somebody in Jamaica with more power than our elected and appointed officials who are under duty to give order and instructions to members like the JCF? Why is nobody acknowledging JCF role? Nobody in the government. Nobody in the government acknowledging the role of the JCF on Tuesday morning. Nobody in government is acknowledging the role of JCF on Tuesday morning. I wonder why. Because without the role of JCF, this demolition would have never been successful. without JCF flying in helicopter, without JCF locking down community, no way in, no way out. Cordons, police roadblock around the entire community. The kidnapping of young men, fathers, and baby fathers from the community, the arbitrary and illegal arrests of men within the community. This could have never been done without the JCF complicity. And everybody is standing off in silence. Oh, this time is not the government. Oh, the government don't know anything about. Who does JCF take their order from? Hmm? Who does JCF works for? If it is that you are expecting us to believe that the government knew nothing of this, we're in a bigger problem. Because we have a Jamaica constabulary force which is lawless, and out of control. A Jamaica constabulary force where anybody can turn up, push their hand in their pocket, and send Jamaica constabulary force to work. That is dangerous. That is very, very dangerous, especially that we go around telling the world that we live in a democracy, that we go around telling the world that we respect the rule of law. You respect the rule of law when powerful actors, whether it be the government or powerful actors, can say to you, say, kidnap them people, them could go in, go do a thing now. Kidnap and hold hostage. Kidnap the young men. Kidnap all the men in the community. Hold them hostage. Kidnapping. Hostage taking, Elder Fletcher. Kidnapping. Hostage taking. Those were the actions of the Jamaica Constabulary Force on Tuesday morning. Kidnapping, hostage taking, complicity in criminal damage, breaches of fundamental right. Cooper's Trelawny has been a crime scene since Tuesday morning. And we don't see nobody investigate. Baby was evicted and thrown on the roadside. What a government. What a government. But look here, you can't say people like me never want to know, you know. The people of Jamaica cannot say that people like me never want to know until they say, if you vote for Andrew Holness, you go sorry. Remember one of the questions I asked in the lead up to the general election? If you gave Andrew Holness another 5 years, how sure are you that your son will make it through that 5 years? Have we not seen this government taking down a lot of our young men since the 3rd of September last year? Oh, they've been doing it before. Me not hear civil society and the churches coming out much from this year. You not hear anything much from them? Because I not see not much from them. Maybe me not scroll good enough. The selective outrage in our country. It's good that tantamount of us are discussing this on social media. Where are the churches? Hmm? Where are the lawyers in our country? Where is the Bar Association? Where is the Law Society? Jamaicans for Justice. All of these agencies in our country, where are you? The private sector organization of Jamaica, who Jamaica people continue to spend their money with you all and put you on a pedestal. Hmm? Everybody gone. When there's state abuse, everybody seem to want to go silent past state abuse. Doing how you do, Melford. Everybody want to go silent past state abuse. Michael Nepper, morning, how you do? This is disgraceful. You know what makes this hurt me? Even though we not celebrate the fuckery, we have just celebrated independence. We always telling you how Andrew wicked, you know? We always telling you how Andrew wicked. Are you paying enough attention to the wickedness of this government? Because if we were paying attention to the wickedness of this government, how did he get back there? I mean, we remember October 2022 when Andrew Holness flattened Clifton Lodge. This really isn't a surprise. This isn't out of this administration reach. Cruelty against poor people is what the Jamaica Labour Party have always practiced. Cruelty against the people of Jamaica. Cruelty against poor people. One can argue this is the normal practice of the Jamaica Labour Party. That's why every prime minister, historically in the Jamaica Labour Party, we can point to them and tell you what they've done to the people of Jamaica. Whenever time the Jamaica Labour Party is in power, there's always an attack on the people of Jamaica, more so the poorer class. Go back to their history. Go back to the history of the Jamaica Labour Party, from Buster to Andrew. And I'm sure you can find an attack carried out on the Jamaica people by whichever JLP government is in power. Don't forget, the Jamaica Labour Party was created as an obstacle in our country. The Jamaica Labour Party was created as a counterforce to socialism and social democracy in Jamaica. That was why the Jamaica Labour Party was created. The Jamaica Labour Party is a watchful eye for the British and the Americans. The Jamaica Labour Party and JCF has always, historically, always, the Jamaica Labour Party and the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they have always been working with the colonizers. They have always been on the side of Old Massa. Is the people of Jamaica really focusing? The reason what happening thingy is shocking, but the reason why we're shocked in that way is because we're not focusing. It's a pattern. It's becoming the norm for this government. Jamaica is still an occupied land. It's the same occupation that we saw in that we see in Palestine. It's the same occupation in Jamaica. One might just be more brutal than the other. But we are under occupying force run by the Jamaica Labour Party. The Jamaica Labour Party, when in power, is an occupying force in our country, acting on behalf of Western countries. That's why you see Jamaica Labour Party not on a problem in killing us. They're not on a problem in bucking with half a house and land. Andrew Holness, can you answer this question? The how much pigs really, doctor and whatever them wanna say come in Jamaica in a Melissa. What did they do? Where are they? Have they returned home, or are they security agents in our country? Because we notice Andrew Holness sign up to the Zionist agenda, you know. The Zionist agenda is a kill people for land agenda, you know. The Zionist agenda that our Prime Minister signed up to is a kill for land agenda. And we want an update on the Israelis that we see coming our country under the disguise of medical assistant during Hurricane Melissa. We don't want Israelis in our country. We do not want Israelis in our country for good nor bad. We do not want them there. Israelis are unwelcome amongst the Jamaica people. We cannot with good heart and good conscience have any dealings with such barbarity. But then again, that's why our Prime Minister becomes so barbaric, innit?
Them. Yesterday, my family member with the 3-day-old baby, them arrest them hold on for our baby father. And one of the man them are coming to the coaster bus to claim to say them come with the bailiff them. Take up her baby, touch woman pitney, and put in a bad pan and push her out of the house and start bulldoze. Them not given an opportunity to take up a TV, to take up your clothes.
Hold on there. Where you say them do to the baby? Hold on.
Yes,
come
again. Wheel and come again.
Where you say them do to the baby?
Where you stop? Them are
Raymond, how you do? Nobody here no contact with Norman Ferguson at all. Norman Ferguson just jump off at the edge of the earth, so like Anvaz.
arrest our baby father, and mind you,
What them do to the baby?
them arrest our baby father. You see, when she get up, them take up her baby and put in the pan, put the pan outside and basically push her out. Them they get an opportunity
The
to take up
3-week-old baby,
the
3-day-old baby.
Hold on, man.
Mighty God, no, wait there.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the
Jamaican man, them of course.
we come on for the people them platform like Fifth Element, and I talk about JLP and 1 PM and government badness. And then the people there, you know, as different.
Please allow her to finish. Please allow her.
Like me, I say them go through it. I see them no them no come like 3 o'clock and say, boy, we don't have an hour for come out and take up on the things them. No. We just the bulldozer things just start bulldoze. So and my mother and family them come out and them start and mind you. Oh, stick up in them lock down the community. The police lock down the community so nobody can come in and nobody can come out. You see me the female where them rubber cash back to that 300,000. Fear shop the upper rich part them bulldoze, but she don't live there. So by the time people for call her and for come, everything gone. Woman shop with her box money out of the box itself mash up. The amount of things me I tell you. And man, they a police station, and after one in the day, the man them with them did in the police station hear about the whole bulldozing. The man them never know nothing at all.
What you mean they lock down the community? Like, what
They
they
lock down
the
community. Nobody can come in and nobody can come out.
Jesus Christ. No?
Yes, some of the man them. Yesterday,
police locked down the entire community, mean there was roadblock to every point of entry or exit to the community. There were helicopters circulating above the people's head. There were helicopters circling above the people's head. All entrance and exit to the community was blocked by the police. That's how you do a lockdown of a community. No way in, no way out, or you have to chat it through the bushes. But the helicopter in our ear with bright light a shine a ground, isn't it? And you think we're not at war with this government? And drones flying over us, probably drones with bullet, Donna Thompson. And you think we're not at war with a government? You think this is not declare war? The resources moved in to the community by the government. The resources of the state that assisted in the criminal activities of New Falmouth Resort and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. You don't think we're at war? You don't think the Jamaica Constabulary Force is an occupying force? You hear how me tell you say Jamaica tenement yard. You hear how long me tell you say them can't have evict. You hear how long me tell you and see there. It happened right in front of our very eye. We tell you a long time. War declare upon we in our country. There come a time, Jamaica people, when we're going to have to get engaged. There comes a time when we're going to have to become like Hamas and engage the occupying force amongst us. Because them come to kill we and then come to take we lands. There is nothing in the book that say we must surrender. We can fight to defend our right through all means, by all means necessary. Means say, if we go in a full-on civil war with the government to defend our rights or property, then that is what we must do as a people. What we cannot do, must not do, ought not to do, is to surrender to the occupying force. Use Hamas as an example. Use the people of Palestine as an example. They rather die than being pushed off what they are entitled to, their God-given rights.
The leader of the opposition and his team, Luther Cousins, spokesman and land, and I Buchanan, spokesman youth and human rights. They come rather quickly at my invitation, because this matter deserves national attention. It needs governmental attention. And what you see here, as the leader said, is calamitous. You give tents. You break down somebody's permanent castle, and then you rush and come bring temporary tents, and you place those tents on the very ground with the debris. If you're going to some of them, it is hot like a oven. The people of Cooper Spring deserve justice, and they deserve better than this. Comrade leader has recommended some solution, Those and causes also the recommended solutions for government to consider and move with alacrity to address this. This temporary foolishness can't work. God bless you.
It is time for the people of Jamaica to pick up arms against the government. We're entitled to do that. We're entitled as citizens to pick up arms against a rogue government, to pick up arms against a government who have declared war on us. This is not the first. This is not the first we've seen the government sending police, sending bulldozers under heavy security protection of the JCF and the JDF and race communities to the ground. That's war. That is what happens in Palestine. That is what happens in Lebanon when Israel is thieving more lands. And we are being told more and more that the Israelis are advising the Jamaican government. The actions of the Jamaican government would want one to believe, would have one believe that yes, the Jamaican government is being advised by these barbaric elements, the occupiers of Jerusalem and Palestine. Jamaica people, we cannot and must not surrender. Stop fighting against ourselves. It's time for us and the government. Nothing that says we should be oppressed. We must pick up arms. We are entitled under international law to pick up arms against a government that suppresses us, a government that declares war on us. Nothing in international law says we the people must surrender ourselves to the government.
False, that is misleading, and that is not true. They have the tools available to them. The Local Communities Amenities Improvement Act was enacted in 1977 by Michael Manley because he foresaw circumstances like this. And I am calling on the government to immediately invoke that act to protect the residents that are to be impacted by demolition. And for those already impacted by demolition, a tent is not the solution. In fact, these tents appear to be the tents that were
a tent that were sent to use for Hurricane Melissa, tent sent by the Chinese and the Japanese to use during Hurricane Melissa. 10-11 months on, these tents are being used in the government man-made disaster. The government man-made disaster. The government who evicted a baby onto the street in the middle of hurricane season. A government who evicted a 3-year-old baby on the street. A baby that conceived in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa is being chucked out on the street by the Andrew Holness government. The Andrew Holness government, the Andrew Holness regime put out a 3-day-old baby on the street. These things are what you read in history books of the medieval times, of the times during slavery and colonization, as they would put it. You wouldn't expect, young DT, Wagwan, long time, you wouldn't expect to encounter this in democratic, rule of law abiding, independent Jamaica, you wouldn't expect this. Not in the Jamaica that they prance around about. Not in the Jamaica that they prance around about. We told you that this was a cruel government. Matt Golden told you that this was an uncaring government. I mean, so there's literally no surprise. I mean, we feel for the people. But can we say we're surprised by the action? A repeated action? What make this kind of stand out from Clifton Lodge? The 3-year-old baby, the very sick elderly.
False, that is misleading, and that is not true. They have the tools available to them. The Local Communities Amenities Improvement Act was enacted in 1977 by Michael Manley because he foresaw circumstances like this. And I am calling on the government to immediately invoke
Donna Thompson,
that act.
While I understand that the media was in Trelawny yesterday, I don't think the reporting reflect that at all. Is it? Or me and if I mean I scroll much, but I don't see where it's reflective in the reportings of, I don't know. Maybe me not scroll good enough anyway. Me know so the Gleaner have something in there. I think TVJ have something
to protect the residents that are to be impacted by demolition, and for those already impacted by demolition, a tent is not the solution. In fact, these tents appear to be the tents that were donated by the Japanese government for the people for Hurricane Melissa. Yeah. Many of whom are still exposed to the elements. Any government that cares about the people would have been here already. And they'll run and come because the opposition is here. But I'm calling on all well-thinking Jamaicans to think carefully about what do you want for the future of this country. There is a distinction between one party and another party.
That's another thing, Ron Wanley. Let me tell you the truth. I did not expect this to enrage the Jamaica population. And I tell you why. We're hard up. We are hard up with these type of attacks against us. We are hard up with the barbarity of this government. We are, when I say hard up, I mean we have become desensitized. We have become desensitized to the crimes, to the attack against us by this government. So we never expect, even though a 3-day-old baby, a baby with umbilical cord still attached, is egregious to the eye and the mind. But I didn't expect an outrage from the nation. It's hard for anything crack with psyche. It's hard for crack the psyche of the Jamaica people. Our tolerance level is all the fucking way up. Because we can't tolerate fuckery, you know? It's one thing with we can tolerate the fuckery of Andrew Holness. And when me say tolerate, me mean tolerate. We should have set a fucking example from Clifton Lodge. We should have set an example from Clifton Lodge. We should have burned down something when Clifton Lodge happened. Same thing for government should have burned down. But we drew the sheet over our head and we went into fear. And the government comes out like the night monster with its bulldozers. That's why the government can go from community to bomb a blood clot community with bulldozer, because we don't know how to use fire again a blood clot. We just stand up a steer, so we just stand up a cho subtle blood clot, and nobody decides to throw a can of petrol or tricotica matches. Because if we had, you see, if we had shown this government destruction for Bumbleclot, destruction, the government wouldn't think twice. This government have no reason to think twice, because the entire Jamaica population gone in a fear and hiding from the barbarity and cruelty of this government and its security forces. Jamaica, if we not set an example, if we don't set an example, the heathen are going to still continue to rage, and we, the people, are going to continue to imagine vain things like God is coming to help us out of the fuckery that mankind put us into. Wake the fuck up. I'm getting annoyed with us all.
False, that is misleading, and that is not true. They have the tools available to them. The Local Communities Amenities Improvement Act was enacted in 1977 by Michael Manley because he foresaw circumstances like this. And I am calling on the government to immediately invoke that act to protect the residents that are to be impacted by demolition, and for those already impacted by the.
Now, given Errol, is it Errol who asked the question, who signed off on the what's it to call it? Given that there was a court order for eviction, the superintendent or a senior bailiff can sign off on the eviction order because there's already a court order to do so. Even though when the court order came in 2019, is it 2019 or 2014, the people were not forced off like what they're doing now. But because the court order exists, then I think it's a senior superintendent of the region or a senior bailiff can sign off on the eviction order because the court case already exists.
Demolition, a tent is not the solution. In fact, these tents appear to be the tents that were donated by the Japanese government for the people for Hurricane Melissa. Yeah. Many of whom are still exposed to the elements. Any government that cares about the people would have been here already. And they'll run and come because the opposition is here. But I'm calling on all well-thinking Jamaicans to think carefully about what do you want for the future of this country. There is a distinction between one party and another party. And we are not necessarily supporting illegality. But one must remember that the issue of landlessness is something that dates back to the days of colonialization. And not every Jamaican is so lucky or so fortunate to be born in a...
Young man may have to correct you, come correct Andrew when you do it. It's not colonialization, it's colonization. I'm tired of hearing Jamaicans call this word in a fucked up way. It's not colonialization, it's colonization. Repeat after me. Colonization. Colonization, not colonialize. All right? It's push me up the wall when you all do it.
family that has abundance of land that they can live on and farm. And so it is most inhumane. The member of parliament saying that she does not know or did not know is not sufficient. Elements of the state were involved in this demolition exercise. It is clear that the state was involved and the state must remedy the situation immediately. And those are my comments.
We cannot separate the Jamaica Constabulary Force from the government. The Jamaica Constabulary
that there is
Force.
private rights. There is a process and procedure.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force is the enforcement arm of the state. If the enforcement arm of the state is heavily involved in the crime carried out against the people of Cooper's Spend, how can the government chime around telling us that we have no share and part in this?
Right, that notwithstanding that there is private rights, there is a process and procedure to ensure that human dignity is always maintained. That is guaranteed by our Charter of Fundamental Rights. It would simply mean that when issues of right to privacy is breached, the security forces participation by the false imprisonment, the wrongful detention. These are matters that must be ventilated before the court, so that this is not an exercise that can be repeated because it is lawless. Any conduct from the state that is not demonstrably justifiable in a free and democratic society means that it breaches the Constitution, and we must respect the Constitution in such a way that I am of the view that a restoration or a replacement, a relocation exercise by the government is something that must be considered and must be done swiftly. We must understand that many of us are still suffering from the Melissa experience. To come and see my brothers and sisters be placed in tents during hurricane season is unacceptable, and I don't want that to be lost. This is not just about property rights. There are human rights, and every Jamaican, the least among us, deserves that. Thank you.
There was so much violations in what took place in Cooper's Spend. So much violations. So much violations. And the government, I tell you, we call up them name without a cause. Them not know nothing about it, them not involved with it, them not sign off.
Welcome everybody. I'm visiting Cooper Spend community.
Them don't know about it.
At the invitation of
them don't know about it. Them not sign off on nothing. Them just hear about it like we. It frightened them and it shocked them. It frightened them. And it shocked them. Because nobody never hear about it, nobody never know about it, nobody never order it. Nobody not involved in it. Who, on whose behalf, on whose instruction was JCF working? Somebody need to answer that question. Somebody need to answer that question. On whose behalf and on whose instruction was the entire Area 1 drone and helicopter was working? It's not hard to answer.
Everybody, I'm visiting Pen community today at the invitation of Mr. Dennis Meadows and the team in North Trelawny. We know that this particular piece of land has a long history and a complicated legal history. And my role here is not to try and get to the bottom of that today. But what has happened here is a calamity, a humanitarian calamity. And the first priority must be to restore the lives of the households who have had their homes destroyed yesterday. The government has brought some tents and provided other very interim forms of assistance, and it's a start. But the permanent relocation of those who have been displaced, in consultation with them, on lands where they can be permanently settled in a decent living condition, is critical at this time, and the government must proceed. The matter of lands falls directly under the portfolio of the Prime Minister as Minister of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. All of the land agencies of government fall under him. So he is in a position to expedite a solution to this crisis, and I'm calling on him to do so. Identify an appropriate location and make the necessary investments so that the people can be restored. That's the first issue. The second issue is the other households who are in jeopardy because the demolition was not complete yesterday, and they have expressed an intention to return to complete it. Now, while the Cooper's Pen property has sections of it with formal titled houses, there are another section which has very well established homes, concrete structures, properly built, but are in jeopardy because they don't have title for that. The question is, what is going to happen to them? And I would call on the government immediately to begin a process of negotiation on their behalf to try and find a solution. The fact of the matter is that the last PNP administration did attempt to create a community under the Housing Act for these people. It was gazetted by the Minister of Housing. However, it was contested by the owner, and the matter went to court, and in the Court of Appeal, the matter ended, and the community didn't get any form of protection from the court at that time. So it remains to the government to find a solution for them, and I'm calling on them to do so. And time is of the essence, because as we've seen, the methods being used by this particular whoever's behind this arrangement are extreme. There's an allegation that the police were deployed in the wee hours of the morning. The young men were arrested and detained in jail in Falmouth until the afternoon, and during that period when they were away from the community, the demolition supported by and protected by.
That's what happened in slavery. That's what happened in apartheid. That's what is happening in Palestine. Jamaica is re-experienced, because it's not that we have not experienced it before. It's just a re-experience under a new regime. This is a new experience. This is slavery tactics used against us by an independent government. A government who talks about independent is carrying out the same slave master tactics on the people of Jamaica.
the security forces took place. And as we know, elderly people have lost their homes, baby mothers, children who are going to school, etc., are all now in a very vulnerable condition. So the third point I want to make is a policy issue, and it relates to how private rights, as protected by the court, are enforced against vulnerable communities. There needs to be a mechanism to ensure that this sort of thing doesn't happen. We're seeing it too often, both on public land. There was Clifton, there was an attempt in Pleasant Hill, in the Whitersville area, in, I believe, is it Albion in St. Thomas? Homes that were also demolished, and here at Cooper's Pen. So both on the public and private sector side, where you're going to be demolishing homes of people where they're vulnerable, children, elderly, women, etc. It cannot just be that the law takes its course in a totally unregulated way without taking into account and balancing the needs, the rights, constitutional and otherwise, of the citizens who are impacted. I believe there needs to be an inquiry into this process of how land rights are enforced in this country against residents who have been long-standing on property. As we know, private property in Jamaica, there's a 12-year limitation period, where if you're in adverse possession for over 12 years, you defeat the title of the prior owner. But we have instances where people may have been living for much longer than that on property and are still not having their rights protected because they are not in a position to do so themselves. These are persons who lack means to utilize the legal system because they don't have the means to do so. So there needs to be a proper inquiry into this with a view to coming up with a policy that balances the rights of our citizens, protects private property rights, but also protects the rights of the people who are vulnerable and who the state is there to protect. So those are the 3 points I want to make this morning.
We're going to play back Mark Golden again, but remember, Andrew always tell us he's a listening and a caring government. A listening government and a caring government. I wouldn't want to see a government that doesn't care. A government that claims that they listen. Tuesday, your henchman them go lick down a community. Go arrest people, and the government don't have nothing to say. All them say we're not involved in it, and nobody now talk how the JCF get in there. Nobody now talk how the JCF get in all of this, yeah.
Everybody, I'm visiting Cooper's Pen community today at the invitation of Mr. Dennis Meadows and the team in North Trelawny. We know that this particular piece of land has a long history and a complicated legal history. And my role here is not to try and get to the bottom of that today. But what has happened here is a calamity, a humanitarian calamity. And the first priority must be to restore the lives of the households who have had their homes destroyed yesterday. The government has brought some tents and provided other very interim forms of assistance, and it's a start. But the permanent relocation of those who have been displaced, in consultation with them, on lands where they can be permanently settled in a decent living condition, is critical at this time, and the government must proceed. The matter of lands falls directly under the portfolio of the Prime Minister as Minister of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. All of the land agencies of government fall under him. So he is in a position to expedite a solution to this crisis, and I'm calling on him to do so. Identify an appropriate.
Christopher, that is why Andrew suck up to the Israeli them so much. That's why Andrew Holness suck up to Donald Trump and the Israeli them so much. Because they're all some fascist governments. It's fascism 3.0 unleashed by Jamaica people.
Location and make the necessary investments so that the people can be restored. That's the first issue. The second issue is the other households who are in jeopardy because the demolition was not complete.
Debbie is not here this morning because Debbie is on her way back home.
Yesterday, and they have expressed an intention to return to complete it. Now, while the Cooper's Pen property has sections of it with formal titled houses, there are another section which has very well established homes, concrete structures.
Kevin Blake spoke of the professionalism of his fleet. Nobody now come. JCF is the law unto themselves now, you know. Can nobody rather be those who give the JCF the go ahead to shut us and put us in Van Backer and Checha, or to shut us and bring us to the cemetery? Nobody, other than when them declare violence, you know. Nobody no speak on behalf of JCF. When JCF gone rogue, or when the other JCF in an attack on us, how is this different from Clifton Lodge? I keep asking the same argument from we morning. How is this different from Clifton Lodge? Regardless of who owns the property, how is this different from Clifton Lodge?
Properly built, but are in jeopardy because they don't have title for that. The question is, what is going to happen to them? And I would call on the government immediately to begin a process of negotiation on their behalf to try and find a solution. The fact of the matter is that the last PNP administration did attempt to create a community under the Housing Act for these people. It was gazetted by the Minister of Housing. However, it was contested by the owner and the matter went to court, and in the Court of Appeal, the matter ended and the community didn't get any form of protection from the court at that time. So it remains to the government.
You see, everybody dealing with this land, there's a huge corruption. And I don't think we've talked about that much on here. There's a huge corruption involved in this piece of land. And everything is coming down on the squatters. Every blame, so-called, rather, is coming down on the so-called squatters. We must not forget, though, that the government stole this land, stole it through fraud, defrauded children who should have inherited this land when their father died. The Administrator General, who is under a fiduciary duty, the Administrator General, which becomes the executor, rather, for the estate, cook up with New Falmouth and transfer the children them land to New Falmouth. So when you see them carry out, when you see the government, the government of Jamaica protect its stolen property that it stole and sold on, the judges, their judges, in this case, up to the Privy Council, there are corruptions when it comes to this case. The lawyers who filed some of the things them backwards, There's a lot of corruption that is attached to this piece of land by the government, by the executive. The judiciary is heavily involved in the corruption, the decades of corruption behind this piece of land, where the government thief land government from children and sell it on to your special interest. And then this same government bulldoze a 3-day-old baby off of the land with this same government thief from children and sell it on. Because I think it is said when the man dead, when Dawson dead, in oldest speaking, I did 12 or what the time, the Administrator General of Jamaica then becomes the executor of the estate. That which is under a fiduciary duty to make sure any benefit from the land the minors receive. And at majority age, all steps are taken to transfer the asset to the children. The Administrator General thief the land, thief it. The government of Jamaica stole this land, whichever of them did in a power at the time. The government of Jamaica stole that land.
To find a solution for them. And I'm calling on them to do so. And time is of the essence, because as we've seen, the methods being used by this particular, whoever's behind this arrangement, are extreme. There's an allegation that the police were deployed in the wee hours of the morning. The young men were arrested and detained in jail in Falmouth until the afternoon. And during that period when they were away from the community, the demolition, supported by and protected by the security forces, took place. And as we know, elderly people have lost their homes, baby mothers, children who are going to school, etc., are all now in a very vulnerable condition. So the third point I want to make is a policy issue, and it relates to how private rights, as protected by the court, are enforced against vulnerable communities. There needs to be a mechanism to ensure that this sort of thing doesn't happen. We're seeing it too often, both on public land. There was Clifton, there was an attempt in Pleasant Hill, in the Wildesville area, in, I believe, is it Albion in St. Thomas, homes that were also demolished, and here at Cooper's Pen. So both on the public and private sector side, where you're going to be demolishing homes of people where they're vulnerable, children, elderly, women, etc. It cannot just be that the law takes its course in a totally unregulated way without taking into account and balancing the needs, the rights, constitutional and otherwise, of the citizens who are impacted. I believe there needs to be an inquiry into this process of how land rights are enforced in this country against residents who have been long-standing on property. As we know, private property in Jamaica, there's a 12-year limitation period, where if you're in adverse possession for over 12 years, you defeat the title of the prior owner. But we have instances where people may have been living for much longer than that on property and are still not having their rights protected because they are not in a position to do so themselves.
I don't know, Mr. Golden, I have to be honest here, if they would have met the criteria, because you know in all these legal challenges, you have to meet all set criteria. There is these set criteria that not just living on the land for 12 years, but you must not be disturbed within an 8 straight 12-year period by the owner of the land. That criteria also have to be met. I don't know if that criteria would have been met, but when it comes to use, better use of the land, maybe there would be an overriding factor that legitimize, despite not meeting that criteria, there would be overriding factors when it comes to what is called better use of the land, because they have been occupying it, taking care of the land, paying taxes for the land, and all the other judges. So I just have to make that bit clear.
Persons who lack means to utilize the legal system because they don't have the means to do so. So there needs to be a proper inquiry into this with a view to coming up with a policy that balances the rights of our citizens, protects private property rights, but also protects the rights of the people who are vulnerable.
DSD, to be honest with you, I don't expect, Empress them how you do, I don't expect anything from this government. I don't expect them to say anything. Furthermore, me now call them out to come out, come tell no lie neither, because I don't know if they come out. See if Tova come out. We're going to go to Tova next. Tova already come out. Gerga, or whatever the mayor name, come out. He told lies. Toval as Derval call her, Toval Hamilton come out. Toval Hamilton told a string of lies hooked together. You seriously want Andrew and Chang to come out? You want Chang to come out with more fuckery? No, talk it truth. You don't want Chang to come out? You don't remember what Chang do with when they deported your argument? Which we're not done with yet. So I don't want to expect Andrew and Chang to come out and say, you don't have lie translator for translate the lie then. What me want is the opposition to launch injunction. All the lawyers in Jamaica who can assist on this issue to launch legal challenges on behalf of these young men, on behalf of these householders. That's what we need. We need to block the courts at the moment with legal challenges. PMP, civil society, church organization, the entertainment industry, those are no junk uptown, the private sector, all on. We want the courts blockade with legal challenges. That is one of the things that ought to be happening at the moment. A blockade of legal challenges. Block the courts up. They are in the corruption as well, you know. They are a part of the corruption. Even against the children, when them become majority age and raise challenges over them fatherland will government thief and sell to special interest friend them. What we need at the moment, PMP, churches, civil society, entertainment industry, bar association, law society. We need a blockade of the courts. Applications after application. Application for every young man. Application on behalf of every resident. What we need is a blockade of the court system at the moment. The government are going to come out, come tell lie. I'm not interested in the government come out, come say fuck all. Because me going to have to come out here to come try fathom my way through the government lies. So I'm not really interested in that. Me interested in actions, demonstration, burning hotels, blockading the courts with applications, blocking roundabout, perform sit-ins in roundabouts. When the Prime Minister will come out, come say, talk truth, other than tell a whole more bunch of fucking lies. If Horace Chang come out, you know, see Tova come out already. Have you not heard what Tova says? Hmm? Have you not heard what Tova says? And do you want more bullshit? Because if them come out, it's just gonna be bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. What we need is actions. We need to frighten the state. We need to overwhelm the state with legal application. We need to shock the state of Jamaica with fire. Let us do it like when Shani was raped and murdered. Let us react in the way the people of Trelawny react, not Trelawny. You need to take the spirit of South Trelawny, Northern Trelawny. You need to borrow some spirit from Southern Trelawny and cast ruckus.
And who the state is there to protect. So those are the 3 points I want to make this morning. And I will hand over to my colleague. Isaac Buchanan is here from a human rights perspective. Lothan Cousins is here from Land and Works. And of course, we have the Member of Parliament in waiting, Lothan, Dennis Meadows. Go ahead.
No, we've listened to all of those before. We listened to Isaac, Dennis, and Lothan families. Now we're going to go back to Tova Hamilton and a whole load of bullshit. If Andrew Holness comes out, if Horace Chang, God Almighty, if Horace Chang come out, it's even gonna be worse. What's all right?
Yesterday was a painful and a heartbreaking day for.
If Kevin Blake comes out, we're going to hear nothing but lies. Why would you interested in hear more lies? Or do you want them to just come out and push their foot in their mouth? That's all I'm going to do, you know. Just talk fuckery. Let's go to Tova Hamilton. If Tova Hamilton tell you she's an animal, believe her. You never named grass or shit before. Maybe she has. So if she tell you she's an animal, believe her.
Yesterday was a painful and a heartbreaking day for the people of Cooperspin. And today I want to speak to it directly, not only as the Member of Parliament for Trelawny Northern, but as someone who stood with these families yesterday, saw their pain firsthand, and believe the public deserves to know what transpired. First, I want to make something absolutely clear. What happened yesterday here in Cooperspin was not a government of Jamaica operation. It was private sector led. And at no time before the operation began was I, as Member of Parliament, informed that an eviction.
That's a lie. We know that's a lie. Dennis Meadows said the bailiff told him that you were informed 2 weeks before Tuesday. You are lying, Tova Hamilton. Barefaced wicked. You are lying. Thank you, Pamela. Barefaced wicked. You are lying. Could you have done something? Absolutely, you could have. You could have gone back to the court to seek an injunction to hold the eviction. You could take it to the cabinet and appeal to what the Prime Minister doesn't have. Fucking chance. You could have informed the people. You could have laid down across the bulldozer, make them run over you if them wish. We wouldn't care much, the truth be told. There's a lot that Tova Hamilton could have done. Tova Hamilton did fuck all. Tova Hamilton, knowing of the implications as she was warned, did F all. And then Tova Hamilton comes out, bitch fitting and Sally morning.
Eviction or demolition exercise was going to take place. I found out when the people were already being bulldozed. I started receiving phone calls as early as 6 a.m. when residents started appealing to me for assistance. By that time, homes were already being demolished and families were already displaced. So I wanted to dispel the missing.
Because that was your actual intention. That was your actual intention. A destruction and displacement. It is why you stayed quiet, is it not? It is why you stayed quiet. It is why you failed to inform the people. It was why you failed to take any action to avert the disaster we saw on Tuesday morning. You wicked lying woman. You look like Annie owl sitting in a tree. Talk to Tova no look like owl. You know the bird, the big eye bird, the owl. I swear to God, Tova look like owl. Right?
Information suggesting that the government of Jamaica planned this operation or that I somehow knew it was coming and stood by. That simply is not true. I was told the community was on lockdown as people could not leave their homes unless it was an
Myra Hindley. Myra Hindley. Baby killing Myra Hindley. Dr. Harold Shipman. Dr. Harold Shipman. Baby killing Dr. Harold Shipman. You should have been ashamed of yourself because of your callous inactions. A 3-day-old baby with umbilical cord still attached was thrown out of his house. You baby killing Myra Hindley.
Medical emergency or for work. I was also informed that a number of males were taken into custody. I tried reaching out to the superintendent in charge of the parish, but got no response initially. Sometime after, the superintendent returned my call and informed me that court documents were showed to the police for assistance in the operation. The dispute over these lands has existed for many years and predates my tenure as Member of Parliament.
That's quite irrelevant to what happened on Tuesday morning. The 30-year dispute, the 30-year dispute is irrelevant to what happened Tuesday morning, given Tova Hamilton that you are their representative. You were duly informed 2 weeks prior. You, Tova Hamilton, failed to take any actions, any whatsoever. The bare minimum was to inform the people. That was the bare minimum. You failed, like you all always have done. Failed. But not only that you failed, your actions and behavior were careless, cruel, and deliberate. You bunch of lawless criminals. You bunch of unwanted serpents. You baptized imbeciles.
Based on the certificate of title obtained from the National Land Agency's website, the property is registered to New Falmouth Resorts Limited. It is therefore understood that yesterday's operation was undertaken on behalf of that private landowner. Now, I also want to be very responsible in what I say. I do not condone informal occupation of land. I have never done so. The people of
defending one's human right, defending the rule of law, defending human decency, and dignity is not giving your approval to so-called squatters' land. This and successive government should have carefully over the years implemented land reform policies that would deliver land to landless Jamaicans and solve problems where we see this prime minister take it up on him cruel self to go around Jamaica bulldozing communities. And youth celebrated independence some days ago or a week ago. You celebrated independence in a country where people are being bulldozed, people are being displaced, people are being made homeless, people remain landless. We just celebrated independence. You know, say me a fool? I have to me a the fool. Maybe me say something where other people not say. Those of you who are celebrating independence, give me something, make me wash my face now. Me want to see what I want to see. Maybe we don't need to inject me with something, make me feel what I want to feel. Jamaica people still celebrate independence. I wonder how much people from Cooper's Pen went to Grand Gala. I wonder how much people from Cooper's Pen went to Grand Gala. How much families from Cooper's Pen was parading the street of Brooklyn for Grand Gala? Jamaica's independence. Look at independence. Look at independence. This 3-year-old baby will go down in history. This 3-year-old baby will read about himself in the history books. This 3-year-old baby, as a teenager and as an adolescent, will rewatch the image of when the government agencies acting on behalf of so-called private sector's interests throw him out on the street, about few blankets, and under a bus stop was his refuge. This baby will grow into an adult, probably will become the next prime minister, one of the prime minister in our country, or somebody very influential in our country. That very baby that this government turn out on the street, it cannot get worse in Jamaica. You're telling me that this is not apartheid? Because the prime minister, we don't know how much capital land the prime minister thief, him and his wife, and build them apartment, them pan. Fifth element asks the question, who will be next? I'm asking the government, when will parity see the bulldozers? And what will be the excuse, like how we don't live on capture land? because your environmental argument is not really clicking. I wonder, Prime Minister, what next to come? When next? Because we know no determined to kill we off, you know. That we are aware of. So this year government sign a contract. Not only that he obey, but he sign a contract to depopulate Jamaica people, more so the descendant of Africa. I wonder if the president of Ghana, I wonder if John Mahama is watching the news in Jamaica. I wonder if John Mahama realizes that events like this, that he must advocate harder so that we have place to return. Because I tell Jamaica people, it's fucked for us. It's like how we live down like a horse and a cool shade and just a jibble and a blah blah so. They don't care about that. The government, military, we don't understand why Andrew Holness militarized the country. No one understand the militarization of Jamaica. Because the government plan for us is either he pushed us aside or he slaughters us. Continue talk, yeah. Aniol, continue.
Wakefield know the position I have consistently taken, because I believe communities must be developed in an orderly and lawful manner. Land ownership matters, property rights matter, and the rule of law matters. But here is where I draw the line. The rule of law and basic humanity are not enemies. You can respect property rights and still respect people. You can recover possession of land without stripping another human being of dignity. The government of Jamaica cannot simply dictate to a private landowner how that owner should deal with his or her property within the confines of the law. But surely, as Jamaicans, we can expect that our people will be treated humanely. A 3-day-old baby should never have been placed in a bath pan and put outside while her mother, who had just undergone a cesarean section, was forced out of her home. A student should not have to search for a laptop that was reportedly taken while her home was being invaded. Residents should not have to report that goods were looted from their businesses or that money disappeared from their establishments. And people should not have to watch their possession being destroyed when they are already experiencing the trauma of losing the place they called home. There was a better way.
Debbie Lewis, Tova Hamilton. Debbie Lewis, the grandmother, who made the scene before the baby. Debbie Lewis, who we all became familiar with before the 3-day-old baby. Things were taken outside and packed up. And Debbie Lewis told us that the heartless and ruthless bulldozer man drove over them, mash up everything. Tova Hamilton. Something that you, wicked, criminal woman, could have stopped.
Way to do this. If possession of the property was legally to be recovered, then people could have been afforded reasonable notice and a meaningful opportunity to remove themselves and their belongings. That would not have changed who own the land. It would simply have demonstrated compassion, decency, and humanity. And that is why I'm anxious to know who determined that this was an appropriate way to carry out this eviction.
You see, even though no blood never draw over Hamilton, for me, that day was Jamaica Bloody Tuesday. Even though no blood never draw, that day for me was Jamaica's Bloody Tuesday. Oh, yes.
Who authorized the manner in which this operation was executed? What instructions?
It's something. Who authorized bullshit? Who authorized the dead frog? Who authorized the goat's throat to be cut? Maybe the man who wants to cook up some curry or some manish water. It's question that you must take to cabinet, you stupid idiot. You national fool. Rather than you come out here like an ordinary citizen, asking those questions, take it to the Prime Minister. You're a state minister. Though you may not sit in cabinet, you've got the ears of the cabinet. You've got the ear of the Prime Minister, you idiot. You've got the ear of ministries as a state minister, you common fool.
Were given and what safeguards were put in place for children, the elderly, mothers, families, and people's personal belongings. These are legitimate questions, and the people of Kupaspen deserve answers. But I also want Jamaica.
No, you're acting like you're in a position here. Do you understand your role, you fool? Do you understand your role? Because the questions you're posing here are questions that the opposition would normally pose. You're a member of the government, you stupid idiot. You're a member of the executive, you're a state minister, you fool. The question you're posing is not... Jesus, keep me near the cross this morning. Keep me near the cross. Because they want me to drop off, you know. No. The questions that Tova Hamilton put forward, God knows she looked like old for true. The question Tova Hamilton put forward, Tova Hamilton or Tova Hamilton's government is the one to answer those questions. So when you backside, you come out here, you come out here like your opposition. I ask question. When I want see one, you Lord Jesus, if I did a rock stone 15 and liquor in our forehead, God just not the forehead that would I want to liquor you see. I just want clatter in the forehead with a rock stone. Idiot. Eat back a ton fitzy. Idiot girl. Foolish girl. You're not member of the opposition. It's the opposition that asks those questions. You're a member of the government, a member of the executive. You're the one who should go to the government, to the cabinet, and bring back answers to the people, you do-do-do-lush. You idiot. You're not the opposition. Well, my guy, Dennis Meadows are the one who ought to be asking these questions. Dennis Meadows is the one who ought to be asking these questions. And then this stupid Tova Hamilton and her government provide an answer to these questions. I saw you going to Tova. Tova went on our job. I saw it go. Not you come out asking questions like your opposition after you come out with written lies. After you come out with written lies, Night hole. Yes, at the night hole. Jesus keep me near the cross this morning. She favor night hole for true. She favor night hole. And Tova come out with the bullshit. Rocking from side to side. Playing with her hand things so the paper still in there. Playing with her hand things so the paper still in her hand. Because when Tova Hamilton turn up, all Tova Hamilton do is turn up and play with paper. Turn up playing with pen and paper. And then Tova now come like she a lullaby rock with. You think this is a lullaby? Oh man, move your stupid night owl looking Myra Henley baby killing witch looking. Hey, oh man, move. Move. You don't even know your position. I come out here and act like you're opposition. But then again, this is what the Jamaica Labour Party always does. Because they were cemented to opposition, bolt down in opposition. They understand only the opposition game. So I when they're in a government, them regularly come out and play the opposition game. No wonder why Andrew said we don't need an opposition because we are one of the same. Isn't it? Dunce. Fully dunce. The Prime Minister who promotes fully dunce. The only reason why he couldn't appoint people like Tova Hamilton. Tova Hamilton, the bird in the tree.
Jamaicans to understand what happened after the calls for help came. When I saw the scale of displacement here, I immediately appealed to the Prime Minister for government intervention, not to interfere with private property rights, but to help Jamaicans who suddenly had nowhere to sleep. And the government responded. The ODPM was mobilized, and they were mobilized in good time. And I remained with the community while we awaited the trucks bringing emergency assistance so that displaced residents could at least have somewhere to lay their heads last night. That is a distinction that must be understood. The government of Jamaica did not carry out the demolition. The government responded to the humanitarian crisis that followed it. Today,
please tell us how the police get involved, how the entire area won. And please tell us how can we as a people separate the police from the government when this same government give the police order to shoot with on a road. Tell us! And don't make her go loose on you this morning, idiot girl. Don't make her go loose on you this morning. Just tell us. Tell us how to thief milk out of coffee, because that's what I'm asking for do right now, you know. This is what Tova Hamilton is asking us to do, is to thief milk out of coffee. Because Tova Hamilton has said, take out the milk, which is the government, the white man's interests. Left the coffee, the landless descendant of the enslaved. That's what Tova Hamilton is teaching us, and we don't labor right. So we don't know how to thief, and we don't know how to thief without shame. Because we don't know labor right a thief, and we don't know labor right a tell lie, we don't do it dry eye. We don't have no shame to nothing. We don't know thief and tell lie labor rights. We don't have no shame to it. And we don't have no limited, as Derek Morgan would say. We don't have no limited to honor thieving and lying. And that's why it has become so natural to just thief and lie. Because it's the normal practice, is it not? We don't do it so shamelessly.
I am back in Cooper's Pen. I will continue working with the affected families and the relevant agencies to determine what assistance can be provided and how we can help people begin to pick up the pieces. We will examine the history of the land. We will examine the legal issues. We will determine exactly who authorized this operation and whether everything that occurred was lawful.
So first you were asking questions, and then you go on. Who wrote the fucker? You first was asking questions, and then now you're going to go on to determine. So you're placing yourself in both capacity as the opposition and as part of the government who determine with what and what all. Huh? So son a fool. So I'm telling you, labor right to keep on the mouth shit. Because when you don't shut on the mouth, as long as the mouth open, may find something. And I labor right. When you can't talk truth, plus you don't put top of it. So we always have to find something. All on all for do. Open in the me would even go to Gurga. Me wouldn't even go to Gurga. Lord have mercy, my Jesus. We would even go over there, so.
Whatever our views on informal settlements, on politics, or on property rights, human dignity cannot be conditional upon whether your name appears on a title. I stand with the people of Cooperspen as they recover from what happened yesterday. I will continue to help them in whatever way I can, lawfully, and I will continue asking the questions that need to be answered. Because things could have been done differently, things should have been done differently.
Only if you had taken steps, things could really have been done differently, Night Owl. Only if you cared. Only if you were honest. It could have been done differently. Because Tova Hamilton could have had a meeting with the people. Tova Hamilton could seek the intervention of the Prime Minister. Tova Hamilton could have had a meeting with Horace Chang. Tova Hamilton could have seek to have negotiations with those who are representing New Falmouth Resort. Tova Hamilton, on the other hand, did nothing. Nothing. Nothing, Tova Hamilton. Until the aftermath, Tova Hamilton turned up with cardboard and fire coal and then went on to give us a whole Salima. A bunch of lies and deception with her cruel face that the nation have to look at. That's the reality of Jamaica's independence. Parakeet in the garden. Parakeet in the garden. Come off of my screen, Jankro. Jankro, come off of my screen. One who is a bunch of liars and wicked. Bunch of liars and wicked. I was the dirty one him there. I want to ask Peter Shit and Horace Chang, the Minister of Gun Importation. So it seems as if Horace Chang helped them out with clamping down pan drugs. And maybe them are going to make Horace Chang bring in more illegal gun. Me don't know. Because they spoke of a partnership. Listen this. This is a part taken out from a Gleaner article. The U.S. Department of War said, Hogkit praised Jamaica's support for U.S. counter-drugs operation and encouraged the country's continued progress in counter-narco-terrorism. In remarks at the forum, Hogshit thanked Jamaica for working with U.S. the U.S. Department of War on new military partnership targeting narco-terrorism operating through the Caribbean. No, sir. Jamaica U.S. Department of War and Jamaica new military partnership. So when them it scum down there, it wasn't just what you all told us about. Me no know. No say the new military partnership. I want to thank Jamaica for working with the Department of War to create a new military partnership to cripple narco-terrorists that transit through the Caribbean, Hogshit says. This partnership will forever change the security environment of the Caribbean. China and Russia, are you hearing? Hogshit was addressing ministers and chief of defense from 18 countries, including Jamaica, at the August 12 forum, which he stressed the importance of operationalizing the coalition against narco-terrorism in the region. A military what's the leadership between Jamaica and the U.S. War Department. Was anyone aware of that? Did the government told us anything about that new military partnership? But we knew the Prime Minister gave his blessing to Donald Trump tirade of extrajudicial killing in Caribbean waters. I wonder what else Donald Trump will get this Prime Minister to do, because 10,000 deplorables, as Marco Rubio told us, are coming our way. 10,000 deplorables are coming our way. So steady on, Jamaica. When you think Tuesday was a tipping over of things that we ought to rebel about, there will be more to come. How tolerant the people of Jamaica are, how much the people of Jamaica will persevere, is for the people of Jamaica to decide. But I think it's too much now. You may think otherwise. I think it get to the tipping over the edge, the cup full. To run out by a sauce, I know. Until there is a situation in our country that shocks the conscience, frightens the government, then the government will continue its wanton criminality against the people of Jamaica. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Lovely to have your support, as always, and very much another hot day in the United Kingdom. What were they today? Over there now. Yesterday we went to 38 something. Let's see where we are today. Blah, 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 blah. Birmingham is 29 today. London is 33. Peterborough is 33. No, sir. Weather turn up. Well, this is 4 heat wave for this summer. 4 heat wave. Because once we touch 30 degrees and above, we're in a heat wave. And we're going to be in the 30 degree for about a 3-day period. So we've been having heat wave from May. And then since June, no rain, no fall. Debbie Jervis, on our way back home, the last I spoke to her this morning, she was in Dublin in Ireland. She said she ain't gonna let some rain give a cap and I been a come and rain batter down that day there. Rain dry up over here. The place look like desert. All of the grass them dry up and look like them die blonde like the die blonde woman then what doing a Congress. Margie Taylor Greene. So I am gonna go find a tree, sit down and look a bit on that John shop. That John having a shop herself, so that we have to buy. Find a tree to sit under. Anyway, my people, Horace Chang, I got a little foreign. Horace Chang can't go a big foreign, but he certainly can take a trip to little foreign to discuss with the Americans. Remember Google Gaga do go America for him? One member said a Google Gaga do go America for Horace Chang. Horace Chang got a little foreign now because the meeting. And when the last one keeper did Adriga, the last one or somebody else in it. But through this year one you keep a Panama. Minister of little foreign can get to go to foreign. You see. Anyway, my people, no go on. May I go bathe and go look one tree sit down under now because government owes them at. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on less roses. For children of Israel do really love rights. So that's why I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Therefore be. And we love Jah. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Therefore be. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I say, watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I and I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari. War and crime. And build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love all. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink. God of my salvation. Because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. That's a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out.
I been you come when we done, but later.
And show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Make him and show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta. I sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man throw a stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let them see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.